Hey everyone, welcome back. This is another episode of Macchiato Monday. So obviously it's Monday and we are drinking our macchiatos, and we are just talking about how much fat we have in here, so we should be smarter for you today.
Hopefully not tripping on any words.
Right, let's see how far we get. I am joined as always on Mondays with Lisa to my left and Sharissa here to my right. And these are my partners in crime, and we are going to talk today about just busting the myth of that clean eating is too expensive or organic is too expensive. We've touched on this in various other Pia and Sharissa chats in the morning, and now we want to go a little deeper.
Yep.
Because I feel like there are many types of people that come through our store, but if we had to kind of just make it simple as possible, maybe two types. One that is the type that is clean eating and comes and shops in the store and recognizes the value of the store and appreciates the fairness of the pricing in the store.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then I feel like there's somebody just starting out and there is sticker shock.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I want to cover that a little bit today and making sure we understand what we need to be comparing things with. So one thing is, if you come into a store like this and you're used to buying, let's say, Chips Ahoy cookies or Oreos or Sara Lee,
sure.
Okay? These brands that are notoriously less expensive, they're Monsanto style brands. There's nothing organic in them. There's nothing really nutritious to them.
Or food, really.
Or
There
it's
isn't
not
really
even
anything food-based. They're
Right.
all, natural ingredients with artificial flavors.
Yeah.
You're not really buying anything.
Right.
It's kind of empty.
Right. So if we're comparing that, and then coming in here and saying, oh, but I can get a pancake mix for 99 cents.
Sure.
I can get Oreos for $1. I have no idea how much Oreos cost. I don't think I've ever bought Oreos in my life, but whatever.
Yeah. I'm sure somewhere under $3.
Okay, under
Sure.
$3. Okay. So then you have a box of cookies that are $6.
Right.
Okay, so that's sticker shock, right? Because it's like, oh my
absolutely.
gosh,
Double the
that's
price.
double the price.
Right.
What am I going to get out of that? Why would I pay double the price for that? So let's start off that basic.
I like it.
Okay, so let's start with you, Sharissa. Why would somebody want to pay double the price for if they're just comparing, oh, this is a cookie and that's a cookie?
Yes. Okay, so let's think about like Chips Ahoy to give you a very specific example. So we have Chips Ahoy cookies, like little chocolate chip cookies, and then in the store we carry a brand called Simple Mills, and they make a mini chocolate chip cookie that's already made. Now they also have mixes that you can buy the mixes, but the mini chocolate chip cookie package will run you what, $7?
No,
$6.25?
Just under around $6. Yeah.
So $6, so probably double the price. Now, if we were comparing apples to apples here, which we're not, we'd be looking at the ingredients and see what kind of flour base did they use, what kind of sugar did they use, what kind of ingredients are in it. So if we're looking at anything that's colored, anything you buy in those types of grocery stores, you're going to see red number 40, yellow number 5, which are very, very high, tested. They know what they do. They cause ADD-like symptoms in children. It's a very serious problem. So if we're looking at just the ingredient list and why you would want to spend more money on a higher quality product, Simple Mills uses a mix of almond flour, which actually has protein in it, so you can feel good about giving your kids a couple cookies. My daughter got 2 of the Simple Mills chocolate chip cookies in her lunchbox today. The chocolate chips are not going to have any soy or artificial sweeteners in them, as well as it's going to have high quality whatever the sugar is. So in Simple Mills, they happen to use coconut palm sugar, which is a very low glycemic index sugar, meaning it's not going to spike your blood sugar really quickly. You're not going to get that really big high with a really big crash that we see really often in children. So you send your kids to school with a couple of Oreos, they go to lunch, they come back from lunch, and then all of a sudden a month later the teacher calls home and says, oh, we think your kid has ADD. No, your kid doesn't have ADD, it's just eating the wrong kinds of sugar. So if we can switch it out, now look at the differences that we're not spending the money to go to the doctors and have all these issues and have all these home problems. Instead, we're just feeding the good high quality ingredients.
Right.
So I mean, like a really huge step up for, yes, it's definitely going to be a price increase, but I mean, it's a cookie, so like we don't need to be eating so many cookies. Eat less of them, and it'll cost you less money.
Right. Right.
Well, and that's the kind that I buy, but out of the box, I make 2 dozen cookies.
Oh yeah.
So they're bite
you get
size.
even more value.
Oh, you're talking about the mix.
Yeah, I
So
use
we
the
also
mix.
have the mix. So
Yeah.
Simple Mills makes a mix, and they have like a mini chocolate chip cookie already pre-made.
Yes.
But tell us about the mix, because the mix is so good.
Better savings.
Oh,
yeah,
huge.
yeah, right.
Better savings, makes more cookies, and the quality. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's just fresh baked cookies. So when you want that treat, you can have treats. I had
Oh,
a friend
yes.
read my shirt one day, that I'm a clean eater shirt that Sharissa's wearing, and they said, "Oh, I guess I'm not a clean eater because I had a cookie today." And I said, "Well, I had a cookie too, but I use that kind of mix, the Simple Mills mix, and you don't feel guilty about it. And actually, 2 cookies kind of fill you up, because if you have that with a nice mochaccino, then it's a nice healthy snack."
And again,
Yeah,
it has protein in
satisfies,
it, right?
right.
Because of the almond flour. And it actually has huge amounts of nutrients. You're getting almond flour, you're actually getting vitamins and minerals, because the sources that they're being used from are actually really high quality. So you really don't even have to worry about it.
Right, and that's not the only brand. There are other
no.
brands
Oh no, we
that
have
we have in the store
Bare
too.
Necessities cookies, which
Yeah.
are as big as your face.
And they're just every single ingredient. So you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to look at that. So maybe there are other people that say, "Oh, but there is, I'm buying gluten-free cookies, and
Right.
they're $3.99." But again, you're going to get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Okay, so the gluten-free, generally that label just means let's switch out one bad carb for another.
And it's
That's all it
typically
means.
just a blend of rices,
Correct.
sorghum,
Yeah.
tons and tons of sugar,
White sugar.
guar gum, xanthan gum,
Right.
things to make it chewy.
So it's no great shake saying
No.
I'm gluten-free. That does not mean you're clean eating. So we have to make that very clear
Absolutely.
too. Now another topic, not just with the treat topics, with just, cookies or cakes or these styles of foods, is something very basic like the eggs that we have here in the store. Now the past 3 weeks, I've been very fortunate to get eggs from my supplier that I've been buying eggs from for 2 years. And his name's Roger. He has a 10-acre farm in San Jacinto, and the ladies are fed all organic scraps from what he has, but then he also grows sprouts, and that's what they get. And because they're out in the sun for so long, the orange in here, like the yolk, is so orange it's almost red. Okay,
That's awesome.
so the eggs are fantastic. The best part of this is the price that we're selling this level of egg, which is $6.95. I could easily go to farmer's market for lesser eggs. They're $8.95.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Even
So
in the
we're
grocery
selling
store
them-
for
yeah.
organic, just organic, which means that they're still fed corn and soy,
Yeah.
and they only have about 8 more inches in their little pens. They don't get to go outside. I mean, it's not a big step. You're paying $6.99, $7.99 for those eggs,
Right.
and these are actually raised the appropriate way for $6.95.
So let's put it there. So thank you. And so now, if you come in looking, maybe you don't come in looking for eggs, but the point is, if you're used to buying 18 eggs for $1.99, Eggland's Best or whatever it is, and then you see an egg like this and $6.95, yes, we agree, they're sticker shock.
Oh yes.
Okay? The point is, you're not comparing apples to apples. It's like not even the same product.
Correct.
So when you go to a supermarket, even, you can have better version eggs. Like one brand that I'll buy in a pinch, only in a pinch, is called Vital. What's it called?
Farms?
Vital Farms. They
Black
come. There's
box.
a black. Some have a black label. I prefer to buy the one with the gold label. That's only when I can't get to the farmer's market and I can't get my eggs.
Right.
I will use them in a pinch. That's it. Okay. I called the company. Yes. The supplemental feed is organic corn and soy.
Yes.
So those eggs are $8.99.
Right.
Between $7.99 to $8.99
And
in
I
the
mean, the
supermarket.
cheapest I've ever seen them is maybe $6.99 on sale, but that's the cheapest.
And that's the black
still
one,
more
not the
than
gold
these.
one.
Correct.
That's the
Correct.
black label one, not the gold
Correct.
label one. And the gold label one is supposed to be a little bit higher.
Correct.
So once again, we want to make sure we understand what we're comparing things to.
Yes.
The final one we want to compare, and then we're going to give tips,
Sure.
is almond butter or a nut butter. Okay, this is another big one that's out there, and it's like, yes, I agree. You can go to Trader Joe's. You can buy almonds. You can put them and grind them and say, look, I've got almond butter. Okay? There's a product in the store. We have a sprouted almond butter. We sell this almond butter for $17.95. I sell out of the almond butter every week to 2 weeks. Sold out. Why? Because the customer understands the difference between the sprouted almond butter versus the regular almonds that you're getting that are high in lectin, which we're learning more and more about lectins and how we don't want them. And this is a big distinction. So no, an almond is not an almond.
Right.
It's not the same. Just like a cashew is not a cashew.
Right.
They're very different, and it's always the distinction is in the process.
Well, and if how it was grown, what was sprayed on it,
process.
And we don't. And I think we don't want to look at the nuts that we're eating, granolas, all these things as, well, they must be clean because they're nuts, they're seeds. Well, it's just not true.
Right.
They're still doing those airplane flyovers with the pesticides over the nut trees. So we have to be really cautious about making sure that they're organic, that we're getting sprouted, that we're getting, just better quality.
Right, and that's part of what we do in the store, which is the point of curation, asking these questions. Sometimes I change suppliers because they change suppliers, and then it's like, oh, well, that doesn't meet the standard for the store. So we invite you to come in and learn. This is overwhelming for most people. We get it. We understand. We're not, you can't be a superstar at clean eating out of the gate. That's why we call it a journey. So we have a whole website supporting this. It's called IamACleanEater.com. And on that website, you can go and get meal plans and look at all the different meals and start to, when we did those meal plans, one of our challenges was, I said, I wanted this to cost the same as it would with conventional food. And so this goes back to the topic today, which is we want to bust this myth that, oh, you can't eat clean or organic because it's too expensive. And it's just not the case. So part of the IamACleanEater.com website, you'll see a section on there called the 10 Commandments for Clean Eating. And one of them is go organic or at least non-GMO and follow the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. And that's a great list to start. If you're on day one or step one in your clean eating journey, that's a great place to go. So let's talk a little bit more about tips.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all concerned about the purse, about what things cost. Yeah, and the other purse too.
Yes.
The literal one. But but I meant more of our budget and what we budget for food and what we do. And we talk all the time because we're like-minded, and we just say, oh, it's just like, it's a priority. Why don't people see it that way? Or Lisa, you were mentioning, about the cost of going to the doctor and all of that. So what are some of your tips that you want to talk about?
Well, what I do, because I buy a lot of the powders, and I always look at it cost per serving. So I budget that I buy certain things on a certain week, and then those last me, a certain amount of weeks, and I alternate. So I buy like 4 different pouches. So I buy 2 one week, and then the other 2 the next week. So it kind of, staggers itself out. And again, I do cost per serving. And a lot of these powders, you're doing a teaspoon or a tablespoon, and it's a big pouch. So it's going to last you, especially if you use it once a day. That's my breakfast. I put my powders in my breakfast. So it's one of those where you look at cost per serving. Also, a lot of these things are very hearty and wonderful for you, so you're not going to eat the whole bag or the whole jar, get it down to the serving size. And as these guys always recommend, come in and change one product in your pantry. If you adore ketchup and you buy the 10-gallon thing from Costco, it's like, come in here and get a healthy ketchup that will taste good and be good for you. And just compare it and see, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
I agree.
Okay, so that's a great tip when you're starting to do the powders and staggering the cost of the powders.
Yes.
And then there's also some tips that we can give you when it comes to the food.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So we have the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen.
Yep.
What tips do you have? Because you're the one out of the group that has a family of 4, but now you're actually feeding a family of 8.
Yep.
Because you've had some house guests.
Yep.
So how do you scale that?
So I don't sacrifice the quality of my food. That's the number one priority in my house, is we don't sacrifice that. So I'm not going to all of a sudden start eating corn, soy, and all of these things, or even animals that have been fed corn and soy, just because now I have more people to feed. So I never will sacrifice the quality, but I will hunt for better bargains. So I will come and say, like, okay, where's the best place to buy eggs that's also the least expensive? How can I get as much organic produce as I possibly can, but spend the least amount of money? So I go and meet the farmers, get my farm box every week. You guys know I get a farm box from Harvest to You. They deliver to my house once a week, and that's been the most cost-effective way for us to eat all organic vegetables that are in season without A, having to know what's in season, and B, having to go to any stores, and C, then also keeping the costs way down. We also do less meat at our meals, so the portion sizes are a little bit smaller because the quality is so good that your body doesn't need as much. We eat more vegetables and fruit than we do meat. We eat eggs for breakfast, and we just try to make sure that most of our meals, 99.9% of them, are at home. So that entire budget for food, like Starbucks coffee and going out for lunch and going out for dinner, all of those costs are included in what I spend on my groceries. And if I'm spending money out at the coffee shop every week, that's taking money out of my grocery budget. So that's not a priority for me. I make my coffee at home. I use the stuff that I want to use to make it as fresh and as delicious as I want to have, so I never feel like I'm missing out on anything. But my priority is to keep it at my house so that I'm not spending money on other people or giving other people my money that I need to feed my family with.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. And in there goes the meal preparation. So if you know that you're now feeding 8 and you're like, okay, what am I going to do? Maybe you meal prep twice a week, but you're going to get those groceries. You're going to, make the decision of, I'm not going to buy that extra treat or actually cheat for other people, in another market, because it's just going to be wasted money. Yes. So another thing I want to add to that is, the more you become fat adapted, which is, we did a whole video on this, fat burner versus sugar burner.
Right.
And if you continue being a sugar burner, then that means you continue to want to eat every 2 hours.
Well, and it's all carb loading and all of that. So, and fat, you are eating less food, but feeling fuller longer and having energy longer.
Right, and not becoming hangry.
Right. And
you're at
no brain fog.
No brain fog, still being able to function and communicate.
Yes.
And so more you become fat adapted, and that's not something you could just do overnight.
No.
That, I'm going to drop from my regular standard American diet, which is 200 to 300 grams of carbs, and suddenly drop it to 20 grams of carbs. And have it a license to eat a 16-ounce ribeye with a pound of Land O'Lakes. That's not, it's not clean eating for sure, and that's not the way to go about it, So this is a journey. We invite you to come in and be a part of this every week. We invite you to come into the store and learn about it. We invite you to go to IamACleanEater.com and you can download our ebook that's on there. And we especially invite you to take a look at our video for our contest that we're having in the month of December. And that is a contest where the value of it, really, it's priceless, but we had to put a number on it. It's about $1,300 value that we're giving away, that Sharissa and I are going to be your guides. And we want to do this. We are passionate about education. We are passionate about transferring knowledge to the people that want the knowledge. So if you feel like this is where you're at in your life at this point, and you want to make a permanent lifestyle change, not a temporary diet, a permanent lifestyle change, then please look at our video. We'll put it in the link below in the comments. Take a look at that, sign up, take our quiz from on the I Am a Clean Eater site and see where you're at. it's a fun thing. It's not like, oh look, you have to pass. It's just a fun quiz.
Yes.
Go ahead and take a look at
Yes.
it. Comment today. We wanted to give you some encouragement to basically understand what you're comparing things to. So yes, if you're first introduced to clean eating and you come in and you see a shop that's 100% options with clean eating, there's a little sticker shock.
Oh, yes.
When you go into other stores that might be regular supermarkets or fake health food stores, and they have things on there that are, you know, high and super low, we just decided not to do that for our store. We just decided to do super clean items
Yes.
up on this level.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. And we invite you to learn more about that. Okay? So that's it for our episode today of Macchiato Monday. We are open in the store 6 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 5, closed on Sundays. But we're open 24 hours on IamACleanEater.com. We'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks, ladies. So, you still have some?
Yes.